Let's move on to the NHC now, because things have gotten perhaps a little clearer with East Noble beating New Haven last week. So New Haven is essentially eliminated from the conference championship race with now 2 losses in the conference, which leaves us in a 3-horse race with Homestead, East Noble, and Columbia City. Columbia City at Norwell this week, East Noble at Belmont. Those games should be won by the favorites. Homestead versus New Haven at Homestead. How do you see this all shaking out by the time we're done with football on Friday night in the regular season?
I see a 3-way muddled mess is what I see. I think Homestead will take care of New Haven on that turf, and with decent weather, which it's supposed to be, Homestead's really explosive offensively. They've gotten better as the weeks have gone by defensively. They'll take care of New Haven. It won't be a blowout or anything like that. New Haven will give them a really good game. But the other 2 teams, Columbia City and East Noble, shouldn't have any difficulty. Although I'll say, Columbia City kind of didn't play the greatest game last week, but there's no excuse for East Noble and Columbia City to lose this week, and I think Homestead will get it done as well. So I see a 3-way tie.
Norwell kind of played a spoiler role last year when it came to the championship with Homestead. Could they do that again with Columbia City? Because it's at Norwell. That's not a fun place to play, no matter how well the team is playing. The Courtyard's a tough place to play, and they've played some teams close at home that perhaps you'd say, maybe they shouldn't be within a touchdown, but they're playing well at home this season.
Well, you would have a valid point, but I saw on the roster the other day that Clay Fichter had graduated.
Oh, yes, that's true. So 32 is not there.
Yeah, I don't think he's there this year, and so therefore, no, Norwell won't be able to get this done.
And when it comes to East Noble against Belmont, is that a tough game being played at their place, because you know what Belmont's going to do coming in? They've still got Daniel Meyer, they've still got Riley Hankinson. They're going to control the ball and the time. So could East Noble have a problem if perhaps they get an early turnover or 2 and then Belmont grinds it out?
No, because East Noble's big play capability. They run a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4 play drives, just like Bishop Luers does actually. Time of possession to those type of teams means nothing. East Noble can score in 1 play very, very quickly. So even if Belmont grinds out 7 minutes off the clock, A.J. Dove can hit Gator for a long gain just like that, and the score's tied. So the thing that's really impressive about East Noble, they never take a week off mentally. You think about the different challenges they've had this year at Homestead, against Columbia City. Last week, if there was ever a game after that just gut-wrenching loss to Columbia City, and then they have to turn around and go to New Haven, a very difficult place to play, they don't take a week off. Mentally, they focus on the task at hand every single week. So East Noble is not going to show up to Belmont this week and think, well, the season's over, we can't be the sole champion or anything like that. They're going to do what they need to do, and they'll win the game pretty easily.
All right, yeah, should be a good one. As you said, it looks like all those 3 teams on paper with 1 losses, hopefully they should end in their eyes with just 1 loss, and we'll probably have a 3-way tie unless something out of the ordinary happens. The last thing I want to touch on this week is the NECC, and that's because, to me, the shocking game of last week was Churubusco going up to Fairfield and losing, not because Fairfield's a bad team, just because Fairfield this season has not been the Fairfield we've seen the last 2, 3, 4 seasons.
Right. Well, the big difference with that was Kyle Monk got injured right away in the game, injured his wrist. The latest report I haven't spoken with Coach Etzler today. I was waiting on a return call from him before I got in here. But the latest report I have is he's not officially out for the season. If they advance in the tournament, he might be able to come back. And it is his non-throwing hand. But where it really hurts him is defensively. Monk was leading the area with interceptions, with 6 interceptions. And I believe they gave up 52 points to Fairfield last week.
Right.
So you can see defensively they were just lost last week against Fairfield without Kyle Monk back there directing traffic and telling everybody where they needed to be. And it was really just a mental blow to Churubusco. I never in my wildest dreams, even though they lost Monk, would have envisioned Churubusco losing that game last week. But that's why you play the game every single Friday, so you never really know. And the same type of game faces them this week with Lakeland. Historically, Lakeland's much better than they are this year, but, Fairfield is down this year, and they've got Churubusco. So Churubusco has several games in a row, Fairfield, Lakeland, and then they open the sectional with Adams Central.
We know what can happen. Yeah, we know what can happen in the first round of the playoffs against Adams Central.
Yeah, Busco needs to get mentally right really quickly, or they're going to be in trouble.
When you take a look at Angola, they've got they're at Central Noble this week. Busco comes in 6-1 in conference. Angola 6-1 in conference. So both those teams with a win can share the conference championship, which would be a great feat, I think, for Angola this season.
Oh, absolutely. Their program has slowly gotten better over the years. They're really throwing the heck out of the ball this year, doing a great job. And yes, they stubbed their toe against Churubusco, but you got to give those kids credit. They've really raised that program to a new level.
All right, and one other interesting game, Whitco. They can run the table in conference play with a win at Tippy Valley this week. That should be very interesting in the Three Rivers Conference. Of course, we'll have you covered on Friday night with our Highlight Zone. Tom will have you covered all week in the paper, and we'll have you covered next week when we're actually talking sectional. Can we actually be talking sectional football?
I know. It seems like yesterday it was August and 95 degrees.
I know. All right, thank you very much. He's Tom Davis. I'm Glenn Marini, and we thank you for logging on to Wayne.com.